Well, how quickly this game can turn. Essendon has gone from the hunter to the hunter. Only 2 wins this season for the Bombers. Their skipper's struggling, but he's got plenty of mates at the moment. One big positive tonight, though, is Scott Lucas playing his 250th game. They meet a very angry Hawthorn team tonight, coming off their first loss for 2008. They've also been smashed from pillar to post by the media this week. Coach Alistair Clarkson will certainly have them fired up tonight. As I say, hello and welcome to the Dome. It's round 11. It's arch enemies Essendon and Hawthorn. How have you seen Hawthorn's week, Robert Walls?
Well, it's been busy, hasn't it? They've been in the news every day of the week. Started down there in Tasmania, of course, with the coach, and then with Buddy Franklin, all the publicity about Buddy in the nightclub. I think the Hawks would be waiting for this game to start so they can get back onto the football field and do what they do best.
Look, he's not the first coach to spray a journo. In fact, look, it happens every week. I thought it was a bit hard done by Alistair Clarkson.
I think he was a bit unlucky that the cameras were rolling, and of course it was shown to the world, but that's the fishbowl in which coaches live in nowadays. Everybody's looking for a story. And, of course, he had words with that journo down there in Launceston.
And Lance Franklin under fire after the night out on the town. What was your reading of that one?
Well, again, 2 sides to every story. All I know is that the Hawthorn Football Club have been very, very staunch in their defence of their star player.
Well, Franklin's kicked 13 goals in his last 2 matches against Essendon. That was last year. Who do you think's going to be the man tonight? Fletcher, Ryder?
Well, it'll be interesting. We see Dustin Fletcher in picture there. If Buddy plays close to the goals, I think Fletcher will take him. But Buddy will push up outside the forward 50. He'll go up to the wings on different occasions. Therefore, I think Paddy Ryder, will probably get that job. He's younger, more athletic, and it'll be a great challenge for the young Essendon player to take on. And Matty Knights, of course, has been grooming him at centre-half back.
Interesting what Hawthorn have done tonight. They've got the extra tall in tonight in Boyle. That's really going to test Essendon. I think it's a good coaching move.
I think it is too. And we saw that last night with the Kangaroos with their 3 tall forwards. That upset the catch. But have a look at the Hawthorn lineup there.
Hodge back.
And Luke Hodges back. He replaces Sewell, who's gone for 6 weeks while he gets that shoulder fixed up. Birchall on that half-back flank. He is a very, very good player, an attacking rebounder, gets around 22 disposals a game. Gilliman, Crode, Ladson, Brown. It's a very settled defence. Whilst we talk a lot about the midfielders and the star forwards, and the ruck pair, Campbell and Taylor, they are really improving as each week goes by.
Always good to see a first gamer. Tom Bell-Chambers is a late inclusion for Laycock. He's been pulled out of the team, so that'll be exciting.
Yes, and Bell-Chambers will certainly notice him when he comes onto the ground. We saw him in the warm-up, 201 centimetres. He's a teenager from Tasmania. He'll share the ruck duties with David Hill. And good to see Lucas back in this team. It's his 2nd game back after injury.
Monfrey's missing the mark at close range, and of course Lucas had a set shot that missed. That's a high tackle by Nash. Hawthorn's ball. Ladson running straight into trouble. Rioli back to Hodge. The Hawks working it around. They need to steady. Morton off to Bateman. And Clark is at the end of it. Bateman's run on. Clark not really a goal kicker from out there. Is this 50 metres?
Yeah,
well, he's a goal kicker now.
Well, Fletcher was trying to make sure Franklin didn't get the easy handball because Clark couldn't have made the distance, but he just went through the mark.
Just what the Bombers didn't want, really. They'd been so good. And now the Hawks, through Clark, an unlikely source of goals, get there first.
Well, it just goes to show that even the experienced fellas can have a brain fade.
So badly needed goal for the Hawks. He'd been outplayed in this first quarter. Hodge was a bit sloppy there. Roughhead against Fletcher. And just with a bit of strength, Roughhead wins out, goes short. And marks taken by Hodge. A brave one too. Didn't know what was coming.
Well, if it had been a steam train, it wouldn't have worried him. He's one of the toughest players in the game. Now, there's Boyle. That's the 3rd tall that the Hawks have got. And you can see that he's being closely attended by Pears, one of the young Bombers.
Luke Hodge
20 seconds now, Luke.
had a tough month, tore the hammy, and had his appendix taken out. But he's back. Kicked 5 goals, 7 this season in his 6 matches. Taken pick 1 back in the 2001 draft. And Hodges put it through. And scores level at the Dome. Good reward there for a courageous mark from Luke Hodge. As Robert Wall said, you'd expect nothing less from the number 15 for the Hawks.
Probably lucky not to get penalised there as he had a kick off the ground.
Little bit of protection there from Franklin too helped.
On no better than level terms. Umpire Avon with Messieurs McBurney and Mollison, and Hooley it is who gets the kick out. Stanton can't advance, needs to get it out. He's gone. Waite was carrying him forward. There wasn't a lot he could do. Lewis, lovely ball to either Rioli or Mitchell, who was coming down the ground. Rioli it is who goes for Franklin. Just couldn't balance it on the palm, but he does better than that. He just curls it home.
Gee, mate, that looked pretty easy, Rob.
Just incredible, isn't it? This is where the free kick's against Stanton for not getting it out.
It's tough, isn't it?
Pretty hard to get it out, but just have a look at the acceleration. He brings up a bit of turf, buddy. Just puts the afterburners on, accelerates away, brings up the turf, and he knows he's good, and he is. Bigger than Hutto.
Sleeker.
And Kennedy got the handball away. Lewis gives it off to Campbell. Here's Franklin.
And that's why the space is given to him. It's a lovely kick by the ruckman, but not much that Paddy Ryder could do to stop that, because it's a bullet-like pass, and he's a metre in front. Virtually impossible to defend that.
And it was a beautiful kick from the big ruckman, and it's all a question of accuracy here for Franklin. He'll be kicking from about 51 metres out. But
flat punt.
And Franklin just caresses it through. So he's got two. Hawks in front. There's the clearance, and nice kick from Robert Campbell.
Good to see ruckman with skill.
Yes. Lace out, wasn't it?
On Lovett Murray and Buddy on Patrick Ryder. And Roughhead's pushed out to the wing to try to drag Fletcher out of the way. Fletcher had 10 touches in that first quarter.
Clean tap by Hill, but Mitchell extracted it for Bateman, Clark, Birchall, and finally Ellis to work it wide to Lewis, and he has a man running loose. This is Young, who can be devastating with that left foot from inside 50. The goal open, and Hodge storming down the ground.
Well, that tested Hodge's hamstring, because he had to stretch himself for that. And just to find space, as Young does, he's one of the best quarters. That's an amazing stat. He's taken 93 marks.
94 now.
Well, 94 marks, and he was in space, wasn't he? 94 marks. He's been watching Steve Johnson of Geelong do this.
And Hodge pots it through for his second, and the Hawks lead by 2 goals. Well, that was a good takeaway. Started by Mitchell, and then Young finding space down that side of the ground. Hodge having to cover some ground to do it. Tested the hamstring and nearly tested the fence. And fascinating to see him line up the shot for goal, actually looking almost directly away from goal. Running out, curling it off the instep.
Quarter. Smart coach, Alistair Clarkson.
Hodge gets the takeaway. Bangs it on the left. Franklin from behind almost. Gets the handball, and Franklin will kick his third. Strong takeaway in the middle by the Hawks. Hodge again. Just the quick clearance. And good handball from Williams. And 3 to Franklin. Danger signs for Essendon now.